The Theta X is fast and snappy when taking the 5.5K still images. This test is running firmware 1.00.1 and it's at night, so the room is dark. This does increase the time it takes to take a picture by a fair bit. I have the image stitching set to auto. And let's check out this 11K image. It's new in this Ricoh Theta model. Overall, the camera just seems fast and is a pleasure to work with. So let's check out how long it took. And it's incredible. It's under 3 seconds. This is with the internally stitched images. Let's try it again. And it's right about 3 seconds for an 11K image. Fantastic. Try it again. And right about 3 seconds. Beautiful. I'm going to quickly copy and paste the URL of the file into a web browser so I can pull the full-size image down to my local computer for inspection. After I save it to my local computer, I'm going to use a small tool called XF tool to view the metadata. This will show me what type of images I have here, and there's also different types of information that you can pull out with XF tool. But I did verify it is a 11K image. Next, I'm going to test it with a 5.5K image. So you can reduce the resolution with the new Ricoh Theta X model. And we'll see if it makes a difference here on the time. Again, it's at night, right? So the room is dark. So in auto, the shutter is going to be open a little bit longer than it would be if it was in bright light. So verify it's in 5.5K. And let's take the picture here. And it's right about 2.4 seconds. This 2.38 seconds. Pretty fast. I'm going to turn off the stitching to see whether it makes any difference in the time to take these pictures. In my experience, I don't think it's actually going to. I think you need to use the plugin API and use the camera API directly and not the web API. At least that was my experience in the past with the Z1. And so although you can turn the stitching off, I'm not sure you're going to get these gains or reduce the time taken to take the picture. I think it's specific to the web API. If someone knows how to set up the camera so that I can take the pictures faster with the web API, if I unstitch it, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you have to use the camera API from within the plugin API in order to have it bypass some of the processes that it's doing internal to the camera. But it's still pretty fast at under 3 seconds. In both situations with the 5K and 11K images, if I turn off the stitching to set it to none, it doesn't really affect the speed of the image, how long it takes to process it until I get a status ready response from the camera. Again, it's possible that I don't have this thing configured properly, but this was my experience also with the Z1 when using the web API. It's faster if you use the plugin API. I'm next going to test the Ricoh Theta SC2 for comparison. Again, it's a darkened room. It's now likely around 5 a.m. But it's kind of similar lighting conditions between midnight and 5 a.m. In my experience, the SC2 is quite slow, although the lens and the image quality of the SC2 is actually fairly good. It just has a slower processor in it. My previous experience with the SC2 is that it takes standard non-HDR images. It takes about 8 seconds. Just to make sure that I have everything off, I'm going to set all the filters to off, which would be the HDR. So that's taking a standard image here, and I think it's probably going to take about 8 seconds, but let's give it a shot and see how long it takes. Okay, quite a bit longer already, you can see. And you know, it's looking like it's taking a fair bit of time here. Almost 8 seconds. This is my experience with the SC2 in the past. There's no plug-in support for the SC2, so you can't change it in any way to try to make it faster here. I'm just going to try the Z1, and I'm going to reset all the settings. The Z1 is the high-end camera from in the Ricoh Theta line, so it has quite a good processor in the camera for this. So I think it's going to be fairly fast. It's my experience with it, and it's quite a stable camera as well. So let's go take a picture. See where we are with the Ricoh Theta Z1 now. And it's taking the image at under 3 seconds. So quite fast. This JPEG image, it's not the RAW. The JPEG image is a lower resolution than the Theta X. And you can see that's right under 3 seconds. So it's fairly phenomenal that the Theta X is taking 3 seconds to take an 11K shot. It's comparing fairly favorably with the Z1 speed. With the Z1s, I think it's a 6.7K image here. Let's get the file URL and see how long it takes. So grabbing the full-size image in a web browser, right-clicking, downloading it to my local computer, and using XF tool, you can see that the resolution of the Z1 image is 6.7K.